life has a way of testing us. It whispers doubts, throws obstacles in our path, and sometimes it feels like love itself is just out of reach. But here's the truth: if you don't fight for your love, if you don't stand up for what sets your soul on fire, you're letting fear write the story of your life instead of courage. Love isn't something that waits patiently for you to decide. It's something you chase, protect, and honor with every bit of your heart. And today we're going to talk about why standing up, stepping forward, and refusing to give up is the only way to truly embrace the love you deserve. True love is not a quiet, passive experience. It is alive, demanding, and unyielding in its nature. It comes into your life not as a whisper, but as a force that awakens something deep inside you, something raw and untamed. When you find it, you feel it not just in the happiness it brings, but in the trembling vulnerability it awakens in you, the way your heart suddenly seems larger, more fragile, and more daring all at once. But here is the truth that many people overlook: love does not survive in silence. Love does not thrive in hesitation. Love does not wait for you to be ready. If you do not fight for it, if you do not rise to the challenge, it will drift away like smoke through your fingers, leaving behind only the memory of what could have been and the haunting question of what might have been if only you had dared. You see, courage in love is not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It is about the quiet, relentless willingness to show up, to speak, to act, even when your heart is shaking and the world seems stacked against you. There will be moments when doubt creeps in like a shadow, whispering that you are not enough, that the timing is wrong, that the risk is too great. But those moments are not indicators to retreat. They are tests, asking whether you will claim what is yours or let it slip through your grasp. Every meaningful connection you witness in life, every story of enduring love, is a story of someone who chose action over fear, who chose presence over avoidance, who understood that the heart does not wait for perfect conditions. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment, a perfect line, a perfect way to express what you feel. Life is messy, unpredictable, and often cruel in its timing. But love, real love, is forgiving of imperfections and impatient for expression. It demands that you engage with it fully, that you fight for it not because it is easy or convenient, but because it is rare and worth the struggle. And struggle in this sense is not a punishment, but a proof of vitality. When you face resistance, misunderstanding, or fear of rejection, it is not a signal that love is not for you. It is a signal that your love matters, that it is significant enough to be tested, and that the victory, should you persevere, will be infinitely more profound than anything effortless could offer. Every great love story is written not in the moments of comfort, but in the moments of confrontation. The late-night conversations that reveal hidden fears, the difficult admissions of vulnerability that shake the foundations of your pride, the quiet sacrifices that show a willingness to put someone else's heart alongside your own. These moments are the battles fought in the name of love, and if you shy away from them, you rob yourself not just of another person's affection, but of the growth and transformation that love demands from each of us. Courage in love requires honesty first and foremost. It asks you to look within yourself and confront the parts you hide, the insecurities you cloak with humor or detachment, the past wounds that whisper warnings in your ear. It requires that you speak truth to the one you care about, even when you fear will scare them away, even when you fear they might not respond in kind. Fighting for love is about vulnerability as much as it is about persistence, because it is in revealing your true self, in daring to stand exposed, that love recognizes its counterpart in another heart. But fighting for love is also about persistence. Love is not static, it is fluid and dynamic, subject to misunderstanding, distance, and the unpredictability of human emotion. There will be days when it seems as though your efforts are in vain, when every word feels misinterpreted, every gesture unnoticed, every attempt at connection met with silence or indifference. It is in these moments that the fight matters most, the willingness to continue, to persevere, to act with integrity and heart in spite of uncertainty defines the depth of your commitment and the strength of your love. Regret is born not from failure, but from inaction. The ache that lingers, the what if that haunts your nights, comes from the opportunities you allowed to pass by because fear whispered louder than hope. You may stumble, you may fail, and you may face rejection, but these experiences are not defeats. They are evidence that you dared, that you invested, that you fought. The alternative, inaction, is a slow erosion of possibility, a quiet acceptance of mediocrity in the realm of the heart. True love, when it enters your life, is not a gentle current that carries you effortlessly. It is a force that challenges you to rise, to confront your fears, and to claim what resonates with the deepest parts of your being. It asks for your courage, your honesty, your patience, and your tenacity. And when you respond with action, when you step forward into the unknown with a heart willing to risk everything, you discover that love is not a prize to be won, but a journey to be lived, with each effort deepening the bond, each challenge strengthening the connection, and each act of bravery expanding the capacity of your heart to experience joy, intimacy, and fulfillment. It is in the struggle, in the relentless pursuit, in the refusal to back down, that love reveals its true value. To not fight for your love is to deny yourself the richness of life's most profound experience, to settle for the shadow of possibility rather than the substance of reality, to allow fear to dictate the terms of your existence rather than passion, courage, and desire. Every heart that beats with longing knows this instinctively, that to remain passive is to accept a story of loss, and that to act, even imperfectly, is to embrace the fullness of living. And so, when love calls to you, when your soul recognizes a kindred spirit and your heart senses the rare connection that can alter the course of your life, the choice becomes stark and unavoidable. You can step forward, uncertain but determined, embracing risk, vulnerability, and potential disappointment in exchange for the chance to experience something extraordinary, or you can step back, shielded by fear, comforted by inaction, and left to wonder what might have been. Fighting for love is a declaration of presence. It is saying, without reservation or apology, that you are here, that you matter, that your feelings matter, and that the connection you sense deserves recognition and cultivation. It is a commitment to act, to engage, to invest, and to honor the delicate, fragile beauty of mutual affection. To fight for love is not to dominate, control, or coerce. It is to participate fully in the dance of hearts, to respond with awareness, respect, and unwavering dedication. It is to understand that love is not static but alive, requiring attention, care, and at times sacrifice. And in fighting for love, you discover not only the capacity of the other heart to respond, but the vastness of your own courage, the depth of your empathy, and the resilience of your spirit. It is an awakening, a call to the most authentic version of yourself, the part of you that dares, purrs, ists, and believes in the impossible. There will be obstacles, challenges, and moments when the path seems uncertain or fraught with difficulty. Life will test you with circumstances beyond your control, with timing that feels cruel, with misunderstandings that threaten to unravel the bond you cherish. Yet it is precisely in navigating these trials and facing them with intention and heart that love transforms from a fleeting feeling into a force that shapes your life, your character, and your understanding of connection, intimacy, and meaning. Fighting for love is not a one-time act. It is a continuous commitment, a daily choice to nurture, to protect, to show up even when the weight of doubt presses heavily against your spirit. It is in the small gestures, the patient listening, the consistent presence, and the unwavering support that love finds its strength and resilience. When you choose to fight for love, you honor the rare and precious opportunity to experience a bond that can transform your life, that can teach you lessons in empathy, patience, forgiveness, and joy that no other experience can provide. It is the recognition that love is not a convenience, not a fleeting pleasure, not a distraction from the hardships of life, but a sacred responsibility and a profound privilege that demands your best self. And so, when you encounter love that calls to you, do not hesitate. Do not allow fear to dictate your response. Do not allow doubt to paralyze your action. And do not allow hesitation to rob you of the possibility of joy. Step forward with courage, with openness, with unwavering intention, and with the understanding that every act of bravery and love, every effort made, every truth spoken, and every risk embraced contributes not only to the potential of the relationship, but to the evolution of your own heart, your own character, and your own experience of what it means to live fully, deeply, and authentically. Love is never simple. It is never a straight path lined with certainty and ease. It is alive, dynamic, and full of tests that challenge the depth of your commitment and the strength of your heart. Every obstacle you encounter on the path of love is not a sign to turn away, not a signal that the connection isn't meant to be, but rather a mirror reflecting the courage, patience, and resilience that love demands from you. When challenges arise, when misunderstandings occur, when distance stretches between you or fear creeps into the spaces that should be filled with trust, these are not accidents. They are opportunities, invitations to demonstrate not just desire, but determination. Each struggle is a chance to measure your own willingness to invest in something rare and extraordinary. You see, love is not measured in moments of ease, but in moments of endurance. It is not defined by what comes effortlessly, but by what you are willing to fight for, protect, and nurture when circumstances are hard, confusing, or even painful. Every obstacle is a test of your commitment because it asks a question without words. How badly do you want this? How far will you go to preserve, protect, and grow this connection? And the answers you give are not only to the universe or to the other person, they are answers to yourself. Each challenge is a reflection of your capacity to show up fully, to extend patience when impatience tempts you, to offer understanding when frustration and pride would prefer silence, and to persist when giving up feels like the easier path. Embracing struggle in love is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of courage, insight, and authenticity. The hardships, the setbacks, the moments of doubt, they are not interruptions to love, but integral parts of it. They are what teach you the depth of your own heart, the expansiveness of your empathy, and the capacity for endurance and sacrifice that true intimacy demands. Without struggle, love can remain shallow, fragile, and untested, like a river dammed from its natural course, never discovering the vastness of its own strength or the power of the current it carries. When obstacles arise, whether they come from external circumstances, personal insecurities, or the unpredictability of human emotion, they challenge you to reflect on what you truly value. They push you to confront questions about your priorities, your boundaries, and the limits you are willing to stretch in the name of something meaningful. They remind you that love is not a convenience. It is a choice made repeatedly, consciously, and courageously. Every difficulty is a lesson, and every trial is an opportunity to grow, not only within the relationship, but also within yourself. You learn patience as you navigate misunderstandings. You learn empathy as you witness fears and insecurities mirrored in the other person's eyes. You learn humility when you admit your own faults, and you learn strength when you persist despite setbacks. And through this process, love is transformed from a fleeting feeling into a living, breathing force rich with complexity and depth, capable of sustaining both hearts through life's unpredictable challenges. To embrace struggle is to acknowledge that love is not about perfection, it is about resilience. It is about choosing presence over withdrawal, understanding over judgment, and action over resignation. It is about refusing to retreat when circumstances are difficult and instead leaning in, even when it is uncomfortable, even when fear tempts you to protect yourself by stepping away. Obstacles also reveal the priorities of the heart. When you face resistance, when timing feels cruel, when misunderstandings threaten to create distance, the question becomes, do you fold under pressure or do you rise to the challenge, showing that your commitment is stronger than circumstance? Love that survives struggle is not accidental. It is deliberate. It is earned through courage, patience, and the persistent willingness to fight not against the other person, but against fear, doubt, and complacency. Every obstacle is a test, yes, but it is also a teacher, showing you the depths of your own devotion, the expansiveness of your patience, and the tenacity of your heart. Without struggle, you cannot know the power of love. Without challenge, you cannot appreciate the strength of connection forged through effort and intention. It is in the crucible of difficulty that love reveals its enduring qualities, the capacity to forgive, to adapt, to compromise without losing oneself, and to give without expectation of immediate return. The moments of tension, disagreement, and uncertainty are not signs of weakness. They are opportunities for transformation. They invite you to step into a more mature, resilient, and conscious form of love that understands the impermanence of feelings, but the permanence of intention. Love asks for more than mere affection. It asks for investment. It asks you to confront your fears of loss, rejection, and vulnerability, and to act in spite of them. It asks that you cultivate resilience in the face of obstacles and that you embrace the struggles not as punishment, but as the natural, vital process of deepening connection. The tests you face are not burdens. They are invitations to demonstrate authenticity, courage, and heart. When you rise to meet them, when you engage fully with the challenges instead of retreating, you strengthen the relationship, you strengthen yourself, and you honor the rare, precious opportunity that love provides to expand the soul, deepen empathy, and experience life with intensity and presence. Struggle is proof that what you are fighting for matters. It is a reminder that love is not a commodity to be claimed passively, but a living, dynamic force that requires vigilance, devotion, and conscious effort. Every difficulty is a turning point, offering the chance to choose growth over complacency, understanding over judgment, and perseverance over surrender. Embracing struggle is not easy. It is uncomfortable, often messy, and sometimes painful. Yet it is in embracing the discomfort that love proves itself, not in moments of ease, but in moments where commitment is tested and hearts are challenged to rise above fear, pride, and doubt. Obstacles shape love into something resilient, enduring, and meaningful. They create a narrative of depth and intention, demonstrating that what survives difficulty is not just desire, but devotion, authenticity, and courage. The challenges you face are also opportunities to cultivate self-awareness. They illuminate your own weaknesses, insecurities, and patterns, and by confronting them, you evolve into a partner capable of giving more fully, listening more deeply, and loving more intentionally. Love, when tested, asks for honesty. It asks you to acknowledge what is difficult, what frightens you, and what feels uncertain. It asks you to step into discomfort with open eyes and an open heart, to persist not out of obligation, but out of recognition that the bond you are nurturing is rare and precious, deserving of effort, patience, and courage. When you embrace struggle, you align yourself with the truth that love is not static, passive, or predictable. It is alive, constantly evolving, and requiring engagement. It is in meeting obstacles head-on with intention and heart that you find the fullness, richness, and depth that makes love transformative rather than superficial, enduring rather than fleeting, and powerful rather than passive. Every difficulty faced, every misunderstanding navigated, every challenge overcome is a testament to the vitality of the connection and the strength of the hearts involved. In facing the trials of love, you discover not only the resilience of the relationship, but the resilience of your own spirit. You learn that challenges are not signals to give up, but invitations to grow. You learn that struggle is not a hindrance, but a pathway to a love that is rare, authentic, and enduring. You learn that every obstacle is a test, and that passing the test does not guarantee perfection, but it guarantees transformation, growth, and the profound satisfaction of knowing that your commitment was real, your courage unwavering, and your heart fully engaged. Struggle is not a burden to love. It is the crucible that shapes it, defines it, and proves its value. And when you embrace the challenges, meet the obstacles with persistence and courage, and honor the trials as part of the journey rather than interruptions to it, you discover the true meaning of love, the strength of your own heart, and the depth of connection that only comes to those willing to fight, endure, and persist. Fear of rejection is one of the most powerful forces in the human heart. It whispers in quiet moments, it lingers in the shadows of doubt, and it convinces us that the safest course is to remain silent, to remain hidden, to avoid the vulnerability that love demands. But fear is temporary. It comes and goes like a tide, powerful in the moment, yet fleeting in the grand timeline of our lives. Regret, however, is permanent. Regret does not pass. It lingers like a ghost in quiet rooms, in moments of solitude, in nights when your thoughts replay what could have been. It does not forgive, it does not forget, and it does not allow the comfort of ignorance. The choices you make, the actions you take, the words you speak or fail to speak create ripples that can last a lifetime. Choosing action over hesitation is the difference between a life of unfulfilled longing and a life of courage, a life in which you embraced possibility rather than retreating into safety. Love calls to us in whispers and shouts alike. It calls when hearts align, when a glance lingers a moment too long, when a conversation touches something deep and unspoken. In these moments, you are faced with a choice to act or to withhold, to express or to conceal, to take a step into uncertainty, or to remain rooted in the comfort of inaction. The fear of rejection is real, tangible, and often overwhelming, but it is temporary because it is only a reaction, a feeling that arises in the present and will fade with time. The sting may be sharp, the disappointment immediate, yet it passes, and in its passing, it teaches lessons about courage, resilience, and the capacity to continue even when outcomes are unknown. Regret, on the other hand, is born from hesitation, from the moments in which you let fear dictate your choices, when you allow doubt, pride, or uncertainty to keep you from pursuing what could have been extraordinary. Regret is permanent because it represents the loss of potential, the opportunities that slipped through your grasp while you hesitated, and the unspoken words that could have changed everything. Choosing action over hesitation is a commitment to life, a refusal to let fear rob you of experiences that have the power to shape, transform, and define your existence. To act is not to guarantee success, nor is it to promise that the outcome will align with your hopes or expectations. To act is to honor the impulse of the heart, to acknowledge the value of courage, and to engage with life fully even when the path is uncertain. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, compounds into a life that is lived without apology, without hiding, without the lingering shadow of what if. When you allow fear to dictate your actions, when you let hesitation hold you back from expressing your feelings, from making a move, or from declaring what you value, you are choosing a temporary comfort over permanent fulfillment. You may avoid the immediate pain of rejection, but you invite the long-term ache of knowing that you could have tried, that you could have risked, that you could have acted. Life does not wait for perfect timing, and love does not pause for your courage to catch up. The universe does not arrange itself around your fears. It asks only that you respond, that you participate, and that you engage with the opportunities before you while they exist. The people we care about, the moments that carry meaning, the connections that have the potential to change our lives, all of these require the willingness to face uncertainty and step forward despite the risk of rejection. There is a lesson in every no, every refusal, every disappointment, and every outcome that does not match your hope. These experiences are not failures. They are evidence that you acted, that you dared, that you showed up fully in the arena of life and love. In contrast, the moments you allow to pass without action are silent assassins of possibility. They leave behind a haunting emptiness, a persistent questioning, and a sense of loss that no success can later replace. Regret grows quietly in the absence of courage. It thrives in the shadow of hesitation. It becomes a weight on the soul, a constant reminder of the life not lived, the words not spoken, and the love not pursued. Choosing action is a declaration of self-respect. It is saying that your desires, your emotions, and your heart's calling deserve recognition, expression, and pursuit. It is acknowledging that while fear will always exist, it will not control you. It is a commitment to live fully, to take risks, and to engage with life's opportunities within integrity, courage, and authenticity. Every great story of love, every tale of connection that inspires and endures, is a story of someone who acted in the face of fear. They did not wait for certainty, nor did they allow doubt to paralyze them. They understood that rejection, discomfort, and failure are temporary, while the lessons, growth, and fulfillment that come from courage are lasting. To act is to affirm your own worth, to validate your own desires, and to participate actively in shaping the course of your life and relationships. Fear may roar loudly, but it is fleeting. The heart's call is persistent and enduring, and responding to it with courage ensures that you live without the heavy burden of unspoken regret. Life is a series of fleeting moments, and within these moments, opportunities appear only briefly. Hesitation may protect you from temporary discomfort, but it also closes doors to experiences that could have defined your journey, that could have deepened your connectio. And that could have brought immense joy. Regret, unlike fear, does not pass with time. It lingers, a constant echo of the moments when you failed to act, the chances you let slip, and the love you left unclaimed. By choosing action, by embracing courage over hesitation, you transform the trajectory of your life, opening yourself to experiences that carry risk, but also the potential for profound reward. To act in love, to step forward despite the fear of rejection, is to embrace life itself. It is to acknowledge that the heart is stronger than doubt, that desire is more powerful than hesitation, and that the pursuit of what truly matters is always worth the temporary discomfort that fear may bring. Every moment you act, you honor your own capacity for bravery, your own ability to risk, and your own commitment to living a life that is rich, authentic, and fully engaged. And in acting, in daring to express, to reach out, and to pursue love with intention and courage, you discover not only the possibility of connection, but also the strength, resilience, and depth within yourself. And you ensure that you will not be haunted by the quiet, persistent shadow of regret, but instead will carry the knowledge that you lived fully, acted bravely, and engaged completely with the one chance that life offered.